On Business Tonight, a very special guest joining us from Bangalore, Infosys founder and chairman emeritus, Narayana Murthy. Mr. Murthy, thank you so much for chatting with us right here on ET Now. First up, on behalf of the entire team at ET Now, we'd like to wish you a very happy New Year. I guess this is your first New Year in the last 30 years without being a core part of Infosys, isn't it?
Well, first of all, thank you very much. I too wish a very happy New Year to the viewers of ET Now. I must say it's a first for me because this is the first year when I'm not part of Infosys.
That is right. I'm sure it's a moment that's just as hard for you as for most Infosians. But let's look at the situation where we stand today as we look into trending in 2012, Mr. Murthy. Last year was really a year of gloom, high interest rates, anything bad, and it was out there. Do you feel 2012 really will be a turning point?
Well, I think first of all, 2012 will hopefully be a very good year. It will be a year which will raise our confidence, a year that will bring a smile onto our face, a year that will open up new opportunities. Having said that, let me say that the kind of events that we faced in 2011, the kind of economic issues that we discussed in 2011, they really don't faze me. They don't make me disheartened, because I believe that these are all things that build up our character. After all, let's remember that on the Ugadi day, our parents always gave us both jaggery and neem. The idea was that we must be equanimous, we must face the good and the bad days with an equanimous mind, and therefore with equanimity. And therefore, I think we should not be too negative on 2011. There are lots of things that we have learned in 2011 which will be handy as we move forward.
Sure, but you were part of the group of industry leaders who met the Prime Minister a couple of weeks ago. Now, his statements made it very clear that there was criticism out there that was being leveled by India Inc. on the government, and that it was very unfair. How do you react to this, given that the government doesn't seem to be open about criticism about its own policies?
Well, I can understand that statement coming from the Prime Minister. He has led the country under a very difficult situation. Therefore, his view was that all the corporate leaders must in some way provide a sense of positive environment. So it's understandable.
It's understandable, but several of your colleagues did raise some serious and genuine concerns. Do you think industry has overreacted and made the situation far worse than what it actually is, because reforms are getting stuck because we're a democracy and that there are many dissenting voices?
Well, I think there are two of us, the media and the industry perhaps. I think the first responsibility goes to media.
Okay, responsibility goes to the media. So do you then think that the media has played up this whole negative angle, has played up this pessimism, and that's the reason why we're in this state of all gloom?
No, I wouldn't say played up. I think in some way, you have enormous power. You enter the drawing room of every family, and therefore you have enormous power to influence their moods, and therefore whatever you say will have to be done with considerable care and thinking.
Mr. Murthy, let me ask you, as you look at trending in 2012, what list would you put out as the list of enablers, innovators for the coming year, and what would be your wish list to improve the sentiment? I know it's a hard one, but really what could you put on that list?
Well, I think if we can create a climate of opinion where people appreciate the need for quick decisions, I think that will change the perception quite a lot. As long as we are able to take quick decisions, both inside the corporate world, outside the corporate world, inside the government, outside, etc., then the confidence of people will come up. So the name of the game for 2012, in my opinion, should be quick and decisive action.
Your sector, the IT space, ended 2011 with mixed emotions, the state of the rupee, then weak demand globally. What do you see is really going to place the industry at least back in gear in 2012?
2012 will also be an exciting year in front of in terms of challenges. I mean, this is a period when most corporations take a long time to make decisions, when most corporations are very careful about spending money. So therefore, our job is that much more difficult, and particularly in case of companies like Infosys, which are at a premium in terms of pricing. So, but then we have all realized that this is the name of the game. So therefore, we'll work hard, and we will work with a lot of optimism. We'll work with even a greater sense of determination.
Mr. Murthy, what's also probably going to add to that optimism that you just spoke about is the scene in the US, because it's showing some serious signs of recovery going by the economic data released recently. Do you think that can be a big pocket of hope in 2012?
Well, US has always been a very important player for most Indian software companies. Therefore, any positive news from the US will make us smile a little bit more.